Hello? Don't mind my network. I started again. Don't mind it. So if you do not agree, raise up your hand. If you did not agree, raise up your hand. Okay. So for me, so where should we start from? I mean, what should be there? Hello, am I in the call? If you
Yes,
did
you
not
are.
We can
agree
hear you.
with what, okay. So if you did not agree with what Esther have said, raise up your hand. That it is not Ash include Esther, raise up your hand. So for me, you are raising up your hand. So what should be there?
Sorry, I wasn't raising up my hand. I raised up my hand earlier, so I forgot to remove
Okay,
it.
okay. So that means we all agree in this house that it's going to be Ash include Esther. All right, if we all agree, so let's give it a try. Whether it's going to compile to not give us error. So let's continue and let's give it a try. All right, so having done that, the next thing is what? Yes, what will be the next thing? We have our what? Entry points. Why I'm asking all these questions is to see whether we are all on the same page. So like I said, I'm not just here. I usually love to teach. I usually love to teach when to understand concepts and having taught the concept. So I now expect people to apply the concept. So before I come in, that is why I'm always throwing questions to the house. So let me see. It's just an evaluation. Evaluation. Even you said that you supply the answer. By the time you supply your answer and we give it a try and we get it correctly, you say, yes, I've gotten this aspect. And if you get it wrong, you say, oh, okay, this is what I need to, I mean, this is how to do this kind of a question, not the way I thought. So it's the essence. So don't hide your identity, don't hide yourself, don't feel shy. We are all learners. No man is a perfect here. No man is have know it all. So please. All right. So having done that, we've put our entry point. So let's continue. Now this is a program. It is a program. That
And
is
that
why
explanation,
uh,
the extra, there is no dot hedge,
no what?
dot hedge
Dot H.
after the
Yeah.
after
Okay.
the extra.
So I should put it there, Abby.
Maybe it was requested based on the question. If you are not
Okay. All right. Do you know what? Let me quickly come out from here. Let me come out and let me save this file. Probably it will open our eyes to something. So let me list the file we are
out,
having. This is the file. So
okay.
I don't know. Can anybody relate with this? Do you have something to say about Ash include Esther?
I want
Okay.
to see the question, the requirement. Please, I'm not watching through my system. I want to see the requirement, the question.
Okay.
From
Can you
yes, the
say
requirement. Yeah, not the tax zero. I mean the other one.
okay?
Say, okay. You need that Esther need to be. You need to put dot H there
Dot H. Okay.
after Esther. Yeah.
Okay.
Even though we created it initial.
Actually, I've used the dot H. So I've included it. Hash include dot H. Jacqueline.
As
Okay. I have a
as in
question, please.
Esther dot H. Esther dot H is what I mean.
We've done it now. We've put it. See.
Okay.
Esther dot
Okay.
H.
Okay.
We've put it there. So Jacqueline is giving us another suggestion. So which we also attend to Jacqueline's own later. That will be later. So another person is giving us Esther underscore H. So let's see which one will be correct. All right, let's continue. So not to waste time here. Covenant, we have a question.
Yes, I don't know if I'm wrong. I was thinking since we are working on a main.h file, it's supposed to be hash include main.h.
All right, thank you very much. So let's rush on this aspect to quickly clear those doubts. So I want, all right, so let's continue. Let's quickly finish this one. So every suggestion are welcome. So thank you very much and let's continue. Let's continue. So the next thing is what? Our code block. What is our code block? So now this is a program, not a function, not a function. And we know the work of put char. The work of put char is to print what? Character. That is single character. That is the work. So I want to ask, having declared our header file, what should be included in our entry point? So how do you think we can print this? What should we do? Yes. If you are not talking, you mute your mic. Yes. Okay. Naya,
No, no, yeah.
Nanaya, Anaya. Okay.
So
Don't worry.
I think we should call out a function that we'll use to print out the picture. That's the one that's the prototype that we input into our esta.h file.
Okay. So like I said, this is not a function. If you study this question very well, we are not giving any function name here. So that means function will not work here. It will not work. Or do you have a better means of making it to work as a function? All right. So not to waste our time, let's continue. Okay, so someone to supply us the answer. Okay. I think since prototypes were stored in Esther, it's okay to use include Esther. Okay. So we are going to clear all those out. So I love how it's coming this way. So I know why I deliberately do it that way so that we can, by the time we see it like this, so it's going to stick in our memory. So in as much as now this is not a function, it's a program, and we already knew that put char will only print one character at a time. Though we can still what make this as an array, but if you look at this question, nothing like array here. Nothing like array. We have not come across array. So we cannot use array here. We can even print it as a pointer that's going to give us that result. But coming to function, nothing like discussion of array or pointer. So it is not relevant here. So what should be relevant is this. In as much as we know that what putter we only print one character at a time. So we just what? We putter those characters one after the other. So the first thing we have there is what? Is underscore. So we put it in what? In a quotation. And we move to the second line. We also put underscore put char. So which it is what? P, which is P. So let me copy this so we can to work at a faster rate. So the next thing is what? U. After U is what? Is T. After T is C. After C is what? H. So after H is A, and after A is what? Is R. So now we have our put char, and we are having a return, which will be what? 0. So we are told to follow by a new line, isn't it, from the distance. So if you want to make it with a new line, so we also add what? Underscore put char, a new line. Will it be here? Yeah. So we've come to the end of this. So let's compile it. I hope I'm seeing a discussion. It's silent. Please confirm if I'm seeing in the call.
Carry on, you're
Yeah.
doing well.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right. So now we copy this to compile. Now let's look at the file that I expected under this particular project. We expect underscore put char to be present. We expect 0 put char to be present. So we now output it into 0 put char. So we copy this compiler. Now I want us to confirm whether all those files are present. So we have our 0 put char underscore put char, and we have our main.h file. So coming here, we don't actually need the main.h file. We don't actually need it here. So that is why we are not having any issue here. So let's compile and see whether we'll be having error or not. Yes. Fatal error. Esther.h. No such file or directory. Hash include Esther.h. Compilation terminated. It's telling that we don't have this file. This file does not exist. Where is it coming from? Where have you defined Esther.h? It's not there. So
See, I thought you said that you have the files already, that I don't want to maybe interrupt your file. So that's
Exactly.
why I accepted Esther.h. Okay, maybe probably if you must have maybe used Esther initial, you can now use the Esther.h as your header.
yes, thank you. I love that. Who is the person? Who just spoke now? Is it okay now?
Esther.
Now,
Esther is
now,
them.
Um, so me too,
okay,
when we started, I heard you saying that you wouldn't like to work with the files that you already have. So we should create a different one. That's the Esther.h. So all this while I thought
no,
we had prototypes inside the Esther.h. So that was what we were
okay,
working with.
okay. That was why I still listed all those files, whether we are going to see it. That this file we are calling Esther.h, we don't actually have it in that directory. So where does it come from? So, but now we've realized that anyway. So that's just a joy. So what I mean, file name Esther before you can able to use it. Yes. So what I mean is that in our prototype, we can always have anything here. What we want it to define for us. Are you getting me? So it could be any name. But you know that name is contained inside main.h file. Therefore, we make reference to that main.h file. So So this should be what? Main.h, where we have defined the ESTA or the main dot, the prototype. Okay, yes, that's fine. That's lovely. I love that. Okay, Mr. Wale.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I think
Yes, sir.
we are making, as in, maybe some people are mixing it up. File is different from different from main.h that you declare is not defined, not you can define it or something like that. The other file we use is different from the other file we are using on our file. I think people are still
Yes.
mixing it up. Understand? Like the other day, one of us said that it doesn't even put if not defined, not defined, and the thing is still work. And I told you that I still use small letter and the thing is still work. Now, and we
Yes.
said that any name that you put there doesn't matter. So the name that you put there doesn't you are not using it when you want to do any other program or any other file. If not defined, define it. Understand? It can be anything. That anything that you put there, you are not putting to any other file. Just for you to
Yes.
for you to have the main.h. Now
Mm.
the only thing that you can do that we can make that main.h not to be uh, relevant is that when we are declaring that file and we say ester.h, that is when we now put on our file the other one that you want to
Mm.
do.
Mm. Where,
So I
where,
think people
where,
are still
where, where we
mixing
are
it up.
calling it? Yes. Mm.
Like
All
now,
right.
main.h, if assuming that we say that this one is ester.h, that is where we will now put ester.h on our other file that we are trying to write now. People are
Mm.
still making it up. I don't know.
Now, I think we are all clear now that in as much as what we only have Esther inside this file, so which it contains our prototype, and whenever we want to call on our prototype, we call it from this file, main.h file. That is why when we wrote this, when we wrote it, we now make reference, we call that main.h file where the prototype, because this thing now is now become a function. Before we can use this function, we need to declare where it has been defined. And where was it defined? It was defined in this what main.h file. So we now said, okay, whatever that is here now, this hash include, should we include it in main.h file? So it's going to include it there and give the interpretation, which is going to see the prototype we have declared. You know, we declare a prototype for underscore put char. So it's going to see it there. And when you see it there, what it should do has also been defined in main.h. Um, what's it called? Okay, let me just go there. What we want underscore put char to do, this is it. This is what we want underscore put char to do. Now, underscore put char has been defined in this file, uni standard.h. Now, that is return 1 and c and 1. This is a prototype now. This prototype here has been what? Defined here. So which was called here? It was called. So when it was called, let's look at this comment. Write the character C to standard out. So the character C here is to write it out, that is as an output. Then at C, the character to print. So at this C now, we want it to print the character. Now returns on success, it should return 1 for us. While on error, it should return what? -1 on error. So it's the essence of this. Now which has okay defined, return, so which is going to write 1 at success, then at DC, we've known that what is to print a character. So this thing has just been defined here. And since it has been defined, So we call this header file because we want to define our own header file. We want to define our own header file. So for us to be able to define it, now we copy this one. When we copy it, then we have it in our file. So this header file, we try to separate it. This prototype, we separate it to be in the file that we have defined for ourselves. So this is the file that we want to define our own prototype. We want to define it in main.h file. So for us to able to call that function, look at this place. For them to call this underscore put star, they need to include this header file. They need to include because it is where this underscore put star has been defined. They define it here. So likewise with if you want to call underscore put star, we have defined it here. Let me open this file, main.h. But let me cut it so that we won't just be opening and opening. So look at this. We have what int underscore put star c. We define it in this file. In this file. So for us to make this prototype, for us to make it, we need to make reference to main.h file, not this star. Not this star. That this one is just that. Please, can anybody throw light on this aspect? Anybody?
Why don't we just put our main dot h or main underscore h? Because this extra thing is confusing me.
So I deliberately use it that way to tell you that that name does not matter. The name does not matter. So should in case you see it X well, that they don't use main.h so that you won't get confused. Do you understand now? Eh?
Hello?
Hello, can I say
So,
something?
hello?
Hello?
Okay, so now we can use any other name, but the standard stuff that must appear the dot H bar.
Now, you see, even this main.h, you can call it any other name. It depends on
Okay.
you. Every organization has the name they want to use. The organization we're working with, they have chosen their own standard to be main.h. So I can
Okay.
decide to use what? Another name here. The thing is that let us just know that, okay, whatever file we have defined here that contains our prototype, we always have this extension .h.
Dot H.
That
Okay.
one is
Thank you.
constant .h. So here as well, this star, you can also use any other name inside your .h. So it doesn't mean you can change this name. You can decide to use your name. You can decide to use goat. You can use goat. You can use elephant. You can use animal. It will still work. In as much as this one is constant that you cannot change. All these one are constant. This one are constant. If they are not there, then it's going to throw an error for you. All right. So let's quickly, have we changed it? Okay, we've changed it. So let's compile now. How is it taking time? All right, it compiled without an error. Thank you for that. So now it compiled without an error because we now make reference to main.h file. We're able to make reference to main.h file in our main function. In our main function, we've made reference to this, where the prototype we are calling has been defined is in main.h, which we now call hash include main.h is where we have underscore put star, which is a function we are calling. Now, don't get this thing confused. Don't get it confused. So I'm going to change that name so that you people will not just get confused. So, but actually we've seen it. So let's quickly call it. I'm going to change the name. So we have the results underscore put star. We have it. Got star. No poor man. What's the meaning? I don't get that slang. Yes, Mr. Wale, you wants to talk.
Yeah, listen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just for clarification and one line. You know, we when we are writing a program, like
Mm,
we want to write a program that is that had two number or do multiplication of two number. You can use some for loop, while loop, or that things loop. Now, if you are trying to use your
mm,
function now, and you are using for loop, and I use the while loop, the goal is to make to let both of us get the same answer. That's the goal. It doesn't matter
yes.
how you
Uh,
define your own and how I do my own. Programming is very wide. Understand,
yes.
sir? So now,
Mm,
as you can see now, according to what you said, which
With
is
PLD.
very important. Like this, like my network is breaking.
I can
Someone
hear
else.
you.
Hello, my
Hello, I
network
can
is
hear you.
breaking.
Continue. It's not breaking.
Okay, okay.
No, no.
So what I was what I was trying to say is this. The reason why some people get confused is that there are some things ALS always teach us to do, which is research, understand, and try to research. If I do this thing, how this thing to be.
Yes.
Like now, like now, the way ALS told us to do it, understand, that is
Mm,
ALS standard. I don't think you get what I'm trying to say. Like what ALS told us to be doing, that is ALS standard, which we should follow when we are doing their own assignment. I don't think you get what I'm trying to say. Like now,
We
We get
understand, Wale.
this
Sister,
We understand you.
like 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 this header like this prototype that you are defining now, and we need to put hash, if not define capital letter, something like this. And now let us try it without putting that not defined. If it's not going to print what we need in it, I don't think you get what I'm trying to say. Now, if you want to you want to do your own program, like you want to write a program for someone, understand, and and that thing work for you, and as in you can, it gives you result what you needed. It doesn't mean that always use we should always use what is it called, the ALX standard. There are some people that is a programmer also that they are not in ALS and they
Now,
don't even know
yes,
anything about
you
ALS.
don't familiar with
And
that name.
when we yes, and when we are trying to write a program and we want a solution from another person, like we want to solve
Mm.
a issue, and we are sending our GitHub to someone, and he was trying to say that what is all this? Maybe you have not come across it before. Understand that what is all this? I think this is what makes some error. So that we need to be doing our research as well. So we need to know that okay, if you are do this, you will do this. So because I know most of us we only stick on ALS, and we will always say that oh, what ALS is doing, he told us it is the standard. Like now this Betty side now, this Betty side now is ALS standard.
Is ALS standard though,
Understand?
which is not
Yes,
applicable
it is
in all
ALS.
organizations. So, so,
It is
so
ALX standard.
yes,
Yes.
some
So we need to
organization like
let other people also know that see this thing you are doing.
all right, Mr.
Hello.
Obawale, I think we've gotten your gist now. We've gotten the gist. We've gotten the gist. So thank you very much, Mr. Mawale. So please, like I said, we are understanding concepts here, how things work, how things work. So if you stick to main.h file, it shows that what you only cram. You have not understand how it work. If you are sticking to that,
Exactly,
so it
exactly.
just
You are
that we
just
only
climbing.
cram.
Don't climb.
Yes, don't cram. Get the gist, how this thing
Don't
work.
climb at all.
When you know how it work, then you can now what manipulate it your own style. That is why in mathematics, the way you will solve quadratic equation is quite different. You see some people they will use almighty formula. Some people they will use for completing the square method. Some people so but because you know how this thing work, you can decide to use any of the
Even
method.
simultaneous equation.
Yes, even simultaneous equation, yes. So because you know how it works, you can decide to use your choice. So don't ever stick that is the way. Because a comment was dropped here, ALS standard, and now we are doing something like that. No, it's because we know how it works. That is why, and that is what I want people to achieve to pick from this class today. Even at all you don't understand anything, you should be able to understand that whole this thing can still be what manipulate. You can still change it in your own style, in your own name. So that's just it. Don't let us take now. What will be my joy now? Do we now understand how this thing work? That will be my joy. Not we having that result, but how it work. Do we actually know now? If you know, please just simplify with you can use your emoji or drop message or you raise up your hand. Just all right. Okay. Thank you very much. So Somto, you have been raising up your hand. Okay. Okay. You grab it now. Okay. That's fine.
I'm raising my hand. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Uh, uh, okay. I want to. I'm very happy for this for what the last speaker here said. Honestly, it's now that I start enjoying ALS. Unlike before, I don't have much time and I'm working. Now that you will see that if you don't understand what they are saying, sorry, because because the result that they are now giving you that you are going to print, you will think that you have printed it while you are filling it.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm telling you. Because there was a time I failed the result. I was like looking at it. What have I not done? All of a sudden, I was, because my gen went off. Then I just git push, and then shake with my phone. But is successful just like that. But I think I'm wrong. So the most important thing is everybody, if you don't want to understand, know what is and what is not, just go and sit down and follow. Honestly, I'm just iterating my own.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. So it's the essence of we coming together, like I said, sincerely. So even myself, I'm doing all this thing. When I first did this work, I copied it. I did not understand it. But until I have to sit down and read and make my research, and I got the gist. So I can makes me to now apply it. So it's the essence of me creating this group. Let us always come and rub mind. And that is why we must be committed. When I first created this group, I said people committed, regular, consistent, and devoted to reading. Sincerely. Because without that, there's no way we can go far in ALX. We have to read, we have to make research and come together. Let's share the knowledge of what the various things we have read, the insight and everything. So if you have not read, sincerely, and whatever we are doing here, you will just be confused. You'll be confused. So please, let us also read and make research like the first speaker have said. All right, Somto, so you can now put down your hand.
Okay, welcome, sir.
So also read your error message. Yes. So you also, yes, you can't, the error message as well can always throw light to you what to do or what you are missing wrong. But you can only understand error message when you understand how things work. How things work. You can understand error message. If you don't understand how things work, then the error message will also not be clear to you. Despite the fact the error message is pointing the answer to you like this, you will not know. You will not know. So now let's continue. Yes, when it comes to Betty style. So now let's understand what Betty does. Betty is not testing your code. It is only compiler that is testing your code. Once your code is correct, your compiler will compile it for you and give you the result. Betty is only to test the syntax, the arrangement, the order, the order of your, probably where you need to put space, you don't put space, where you need to put comma, you don't, that is just a style. So just a structure. Betty does not have anything to do with your code at all. It will only tell you where you need to use tab and you are not using space. It's going to correct you. So it's just, I don't know the kind of English to use. So I hope you get the gist now. Yes, Betty help you to write a clean code. Yes, thank you for that word. Clean code. Clean code. Yes.
Please,
Yes.
please, I want to ask that if Betty said that where you needed to put tab, that you should put it, what do you, as in, what would you do there? Because I don't know what to do. I will just copy the code and paste it on ChatGPT. So that where you're supposed to use tab, I don't understand that place.
Now that is why we said
I know, but the
organization. Organi- Organization have, okay, when it comes to C language, let me use it because Python also have its own. Python we always use four space. Four space. If you use tab in Python, you may likely get an error. But when it comes to C language, you have to use tab, your tab key. Your tab is our you use one space. Now you see some people, the way they will write this code. Now let's do Should I? Okay. Now this is what Betty will test for you. Now if I use this is a tab. This is a tab. If I do it that way, and here now, and I put what? Can you see white space? This is a white space. This is a white space. So looking at this, to Betty, this is not a clean code. It's not a clean code. Now I've used what? I'm having white space here. I'm having a tab here, which shouldn't be. How will I be putting tab? You know the tab is a space. So this is how to know that this, okay, this is a tab. And even yet I can still have a space. Can you see? This is a space now, a white space. When you see, like, can you see when I'm moving the arrow? I'm moving the arrow. If I move it now, so let's quickly compile this code and see what if compiler will throw an error for us. Let's see. I thought someone wants to join. Can you see? We compile this without an error. So compiler does not have anything to do with your clean code or not. But if you do pet, if you write this kind of thing for ALX, though when you compile, you have the compilation. And in fact, you may even get your result and you push, and you did not do petty test, and you push. You just see all your mark being red. It will show you red. And when you show you red, you bring it to, I got the answer, I got this, I got that. That one particular this thing, I failed to create the header file. I mean, sorry, the readme file. And I got my output correctly, and I was still struggling. What could be wrong? What could be wrong? But I later found out, oh, I've not created my readme file. So there are many things that make our this checker to fail us. Many things because we do not follow an instruction. So with this now, our code will still run. Let's call the code. Let's call it. And you see, we still have that result. Even likewise in your ALS, whatever, you still have this result. But checker will not pass you. Either he pass you for this result, but for your ALS, I mean for Betty's testing, it will not pass you for it. Believe that you can go and try it. I don't want to mess up my environment. I will have tried it in my sandbox. I don't want to mess up with it. So that's the essence of Betty. With what we wrote there, Betty will not accept it from us. So I think we are good to go now. We spent enough time on this matter. So I want to close this white space. This is a white space. By pressing your back space, you close it. I'm having white space here too. White space. So you need to close it. So this is Betty standard now. So let's move to the next question. Now this is a program. That's why we don't have anything like main.c. Yes, someone asked this question, main.c. So this is the main.c. Now main.c is a file that tests your program. And you need to always pay attention to your main.c. Try to study it and see what is happening in your main.c. Now this is header file. Look at this what main.h file. Why do they use main.h file here? is because this function they called in your main dot, in your entry point, this function was defined inside this main.h file. And let's quickly look at that. Let's look at the function. Okay, this is it. This is the prototype. We know we have it in our main.h file. So this is it. Print alphabet is the name of the function. We've deliberated on this one. Print alphabet is the name of the function, and you always call the name of your function whenever you want to make use of it. You don't call everything like this because they perform different function. This is a what? Your print, the name of your function. Why this one is the what? Is a parameter. I'm looking at this, it doesn't take any parameter. It doesn't take any formal parameter or parameter list or argument. No. And here now, the return type is void. It's not returning anything. So now, if you want to make use of this prototype now, or this function, we are going to call this name. Print underscore alphabet is what we are going to call. So I save it back. Yes, Nanaya.
Please, I wanted to know the difference between what we did with the picture and what we are doing right now, because I realized when we were doing the picture, we didn't call out the function, the int underscore picture into
All
brackets
right.
character.
Okay, Nanaya, please read this question for me.
Write a program that prints underscore picture followed by a new line.
All right, thank you. So you also read this one.
Oh.
Great.
Write a function that prints the alphabet.
So what differences do you see? What's different do you see?
So one says program and then the other says a function.
So that's the difference.
Okay,
When
okay,
you are having a function, then you must have a prototype.
okay, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have to bow out. I don't know what you mean. Okay, let's continue. So like I said, so we have user defined function, which we are going to do. We have user defined function and we have the main function. The main function is to test with this area is to test our user defined function, whether we are going to have the results. Actually, we should have even done this by ourselves, but they have helped us enough. They've helped us with the main.c file. So, and studying this now,
Please, please, I can't see your screen.
really,
Yeah.
I'm still presenting. What of others? Can you see my screen?
Nope.
Sorry, I
You
can't
have
I
see
to
can't
your
see
stop
your
it.
screen.
screen.
You have to stop it.
I can
You
hear
have to
your
stop
voice.
it.
No.
No.
Okay, all right, sorry. Let me continue to put. Let me share again. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's
I
not
can
showing.
see it now. Okay.
All right. So this is main.c file, our main.c file. So this main.c file is to test your function you have written, whether you are going to have this result they want us to have, whether we are going to have it. So inside this main.c, now we are all used with this. This is an entry point, which you all know. They must have what? Header file. So this header file, we are not using the normal one we know. We are using this main.h. Why? Because of this function name we are calling. This function name we are calling has been defined inside main.h file. Has been defined inside it. So that is why we make use of that. Please, do we understand now? So let's study this main.c file now. What are the things now? We have our comment. That is at the main is to check what? Check the code. We want this main to check our code. So check this code. Then return is 0. That is at success, it should return 0. So this main, we check the code. Okay, this printf function. Printf alphabet. So it's a function name. So it's going to check it and which code, because whenever your compiler wants to start testing your function or to write your file to run your function for you, it will first enter your main your main file. Your main file, it will start from there. Okay, inside this entry point, what am I having? Okay, print alphabet.h. Okay, where am I to print it? Where are the conditions that have been set for this print alphabet for it to print? Under here now, we don't have anything set for it to print. We have only called it. So what will I print? It needs some argument. Therefore, we are going to declare that or do that in our what? In our users defined function. And which is this file? It's going to be defined here in this file by setting all those conditions. So after you come here, okay, print f, you now come here, okay, I'm to print this. All right. So after you have tested our main.c file, okay, everything set correctly, we will now come back to this main.c file. This user defined function. After you have tested it, everything okay, you now come here and print alphabet. So that is when it's going to print this for us. Please, are we confused? Just know how things work is what we are emphasizing upon now, not just solution alone.
Go.
How it Who wants to talk? You can raise up your hand. It's like your service is hindering you. Okay.
You're
Please
doing well,
can
bro. Just
can
continue.
you please just go over it once more.
Adare. All right.
Just once
So you
more.
can talk.
Just go over it once more, sir. Please.
Hello.
I said please just go over it once more, sir.
It's like he's having a network issue.
Okay.
Yay.
Hello, am I back?
Because I can't see your screen.
Yeah, you're back.
You're back, sir.
Yeah, we are back now.
Okay. So I hope we get the gist now, how this thing work. So the next thing we need to do is to create our main.c file that we were told to create from the requirements. From the requirements, this main.c file. So and where's our main.c file for this particular project? This is it. So we copy this, we open that file, press or enter, open the file for you. Then you will come here, you will copy this, everything that you have in your main.c file. It ends here. Don't copy with all this Julian at Ubuntu. I know some have fallen into that mistake. They must have copied that. So you stop here. That's the terminating point. So you don't have business here. Just study what is happening, which we have known. That okay, this function is being called. Then we come out from there. So the next thing is to write our own function now. We should write our own function that is going to print alphabet in lowercase. And before we do that, we need to open the file. So this is the file. We want to define our own function, known as the user's define function. And we know before you can write your code, there is need for header file. So the header file that is going to contain here, actually, if we have not separated our main.h file or the prototype, we just call the prototype here. That means we just call this prototype. We just call it and paste it here. This thing concept of how things work. Once we have it here and we define our, so we can even have our main.h file here, our main.c file. You can still have it here. But they have tried to separate it. They have tried to separate it. We have this one separate, we have this one to separate. So it's the excess. So now, then that prototype I deleted now, where has it been defined? We need to make reference to it. So it has been defined in main.h file. Therefore, we now say, okay, include this header file for us. Include it, this main.h file. Main.h file, please include it in this code. In the code we want to write now. And before you can write your user-defined functions, you still need to come with this prototype. It's like probably there is a particular, okay, yeah. We know we talk about function declaration and function definition. So this is a function definition now, not as a prototype. But now you want to define your function. And whenever you are defining, you don't use this terminator, this semicolon. You only copy the words, the return type, the function name, and the parameter, not with the words, with the terminator. So you have something this way, and you open your words, your curly braces. So having done that, then we start defining. And what we know is that what this program says, write a function that prints the alphabet in lowercase. So the question is, how do I print the alphabet in lowercase? Am I seeing in the call?
Are you
Yes.
sure?
Alright. Okay. Okay. So how do I print a program? What am I saying? Let me read. So how do I print in alphabet? Print alphabet in lowercase. So with the concept of what we've already knew, which we have done in our variable if else, we've talked about relational operator, we've talked about how to declare a variable, we've talked about what else? Yes, relational operators, variables. We've talked about put char, what put char does. We talk about printf, we talk about put s. And the question says we should not use what? Printf and put s. They are forbidden. Therefore, I cannot use any of these. What is allowed is underscore put char. And this underscore put char, we have also what? We have defined it, which already we have access to it now. So, and what will I do? Those are the questions. And for us to know what to do, so I want, please, I don't want any person to talk. I just want people that you know that through this class is when you got this light. That through this class is when you got the light on how to use your while loop, your for loop, how to use your underscore put char or put char. If you know it is in this class, you got that light. It's you guys, I want you to talk. So raise up your hand. You know what to do there, so raise up your hand. Wow, nobody. Okay,
Well, see,
all right.
so many of us just joined this your lecture
Um,
recently, and I keep sharing your Google link. So I believe that so many people that don't know how C programming works are um in this lecture. If you can take us along, there is no problem.
okay, so for those people who are just joining this class, please and please, I have the record in the YouTube channel. Just go and watch it. Go and watch it. It will help you a lot.
Please, can you
It,
drop the link? Thank you.
Yeah, drop the link
all
so
right.
that we'll work with it.
Share the link, please. So I'm going to share it now. Sorry, what am I doing now? All right. Sorry, let me open a new. Can you see how to declare variables? This is one. And we have 11 videos here. Though two are private, which is not published because it goes against the ALS rule. It's the tax of ALS. So I don't make it public. This one I have recorded also post it here and I will not make it public. But I don't have enough data to do that. That is why I'm not recording it. Will it be? Yes. Sorry, I'm still looking for.
So if I got this correctly, the name of your channel is Committed Minded.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're able to search for it, isn't it?
No, not yet. Just seeing it, just going through what you are showing us now.
Okay, let me. I think I should be able to get it in. So this is what I'll be putting the link now to the heavy of the information I'm passing. If you go to the what's it called? To the group, you go to the information, this thing, you are going to see the link there. So that's the link. So, all right. Now, how do we print that? So to carry people along, or is anybody in the house who wants to lead us? Anybody? Anybody?
Just go on, boss. Just continue.
Okay. All right. All right. So now we can use while loop here, we can use for loop. But before you use that, you must state your variable and the data type. What type of data type are we dealing with? Now we want to print alphabet. So the data type of an alphabet is a character. Therefore, my data type is character here. And I declare a variable name. A variable name could be any name. So I'm using honor as a variable name. You can use I as a variable name. You can use Elijah as a variable name. Any name you like is your choice. So let me use I as a variable name. I want to use while loop. If I'm to use while loop, I need to initialize it. This is called what? Okay. You will still watch it in that video anyway. This is called variable declaration. If you are asked, declare your variable. This is what you will do. If you are not asked, initialize your variable. Then you have to come with what your equal sign and you put the starting point. You terminate, you put the starting point. It's starting from A. That's the starting point. Then you will come here and set your condition. Why I want to use while loop. I also use for loop for this. Why the variable I is less than, this less than or equal to, this called relational operator. It's less than what will be the end point of this alphabet I want to print. I want it to end at Z. That is why I put equals to Z. So it's going to end here. While A, which is this I, is less than Z, it will continue to print. And print until I is equals to Z. And when it's equals to Z, then it's going to terminate. So this thing, because it's going to run, how many times will it run? We know if you are to count A to Z, it has 26. We have, or that is 26 alphabet. 26. Okay, blessing. Okay, Mr. Wale, you're having issue with your network. Blessing, you have something to say?
Okay, please, I wanted to find out. I noticed that at the header line, the first line, the
Okay.
include, we don't have the greater than and the greater than and lesser than sign.
All right, thank you.
Why is it like that?
All right, is the difference between standard library and users, or let me make it to a programmer library. Are you getting me?
Good
So we
job,
had
boss.
default.
Continue.
Eh?
Good job. Continue, boss.
All right, thank you, sir. So we have default standard library. Default standard library. When we are making reference to default standard library, we use the greater than sign. But when we are using what the programmer library, we don't use greater than sign. We use the word quotation, the double quotation sign. Is that taking blessing?
Yes, please. Yes.
All right. So now we've know, okay, it's to stop at Z. When you are using your while loop, then we give it a statement. This one is called statement, what we want to do now. Because for every condition, you have to give it a statement of what to do. If this thing is true, if I is less than Z, which is true, if it is true, then we enter this code block again and do the work for us. What do we want it to do? We want you to put char. This is a statement. Put char. And we know what put char does. Put char will always print character for us. So put char what?
They are
Put char is
sleeping.
available. I'm skipping. That's my network. That's my
Come and
network.
take your.
Yeah,
What are
it's
you
not
going to do, Sosa? Okay,
sleeping.
I
It's not.
thought you are
It's
going
okay.
down.
It's
Let me
okay.
give you your plate. No, you put plates. No worry.
Eh?
Okay.
Are you talking to me?
The network is okay.
Okay.
The person should exist and come back.
So now to what? We want you to put star this I. So and we're told to what with a new line, put star new line. Therefore, we use another put star here. The syntax matter a lot. Your arrangements. So put star this new line. We have this. With this place now, this is void. So we don't have any return there. It's void. And if you like, you can just put ordinary return. So just put return, but it's not returning anything. And you just put your termination. Not returning anything there. Yes, Stomale.
Sorry, for the while loop, in your code,
After the
you
push,
did apply increment operator.
Increments.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
after
Thank you.
after the push, you have to implement it.
So we've done that. Is an oversight. All right, so we compile. So it compile without an error. Let's list the file. So this is called executable file, while this is called your source file. So now we want to call this executable file by typing dot slash. This dot means current directory. That is the file we want to call. The executable file is in the current directory. That's what this one.
Your network is breaking. Oh.
So one is alpha.
Because of your network, we
So we
weren't
have the
hearing what
results.
you were saying.
Okay, yeah. Is it my network or yours? Everybody, is it
Yeah,
applicable
it's
to
your
you?
network now. It's your
Your
network now.
network.
It's your
So
network
where did
now.
I stop? Where did I stop? Where do you hear me last?
But your network is okay now.
The
We
dot
had
slash being the current directory. That was the
executable
network.
file and
Okay.
something. It was breaking.
All right. All right. That's fine. Okay. I said we use this dot slash. Why? Is to tell us that what is in the current directory. This file we want to call. This is in what? Is in the current directory. So, and that is why I called it in the current directory. And what is the current directory? This is the current directory. So it's here. So now we have the results. It has printed A to Z. So let's go back to inside the code and quickly explain what actually has happened in the code. Now, we've initialized our variable to start from A. Now, it's going to put what? When it's going to run this code, the compiler, we know I told you to start from the main dot, our main file, which is main.c file. So you're going to enter into that entry point Okay, you are calling a function there. What that function should do? The function is to print alphabet. Now, where is the condition you have set for it to print, or what are the parameter or argument you've passed to it to print? So this is it here. It will now come here, enter this your user defined function. Okay, where we've made reference to that print alphabet, which is this variable name. So it's going to go through that file, which this file is zero whatever, because there's a way we've done linker to link to do all those things, assemble, compile, and the rest. So we enter here and see, okay, this is the function, print alphabet. All right, so what am I printing? We enter here. Okay, this is a data type, this is a variable name, this is initialization, and this is the starting point. Okay, you terminate it here to tell that, okay, this statement ends here. All right, this is a condition. Why what? Your I. What is your I? Your I is A. Okay, that means it's going to put A here. Y A is less than Z. Okay, truly A is less than Z. This condition is true. There's going to enter this code block. Okay, what should I do? I should put my high, which is the what? Is the A. We put the A. After I have put the A, it will come here to this one increment operator and increase again. So which is going to move second time. Move from A, it's going to increase. From A, it will move to what? B. It will move this to B. We now come here. Okay, B is still less than Z. Okay, if B is less than Z, okay, I'm to print the B. I will print B. I will come here again, increment again. When I increment from B, it will move to C. Like that till it got to Z, which is the last distance, Z. Okay, is Z less than Z? We know Z is not less than Z, but Z is equals to Z. In as much as it is still equals to Z, it will enter this body of looping. We enter that body and it's going to print Z. When you printed Z, so you come here and increase again. So what am I increasing? We know the endpoints because we have set this endpoint. So this is the endpoint, which is Z. In as much as Z is less than Z, so it's going to terminate, nothing to increase again. It cannot increase, it's going to terminate. So after I terminate that, it will now enter here. Okay, I have to print new line. Print new line. Okay, am I returning anything? No, I'm not returning anything. So, and that comes to the end of while loop. Hello? Am I in the call?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
When you broke it down, in fact, no dull person would not get this.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you.
Hello.
So, hello.
Please, can you return that one? This let me screenshot it so I will know it because it's hard to differentiate the for loop, the while loop, if loop, all those kinds. So let me just screenshot and have it at the back of my mind. So if I'm to do it, I will know how to differentiate it.
Okay.
Sometimes if you are doing this thing, you may actually use while loop and also use if and all those kind of things. So knowing how when to use the why and if or for, because
All right.
basically we are actually talking about condition and statement. How do
Mm,
we differentiate?
mm. All right. Esther, please and please, not for anything sake, just watch that YouTube. The link I sent to you. Many things will open to your eyes because you need to know when to use your if statement as well. You need to know when you have to use while loop. You need to know when you have to use for loop. You need to know when you have to use what? Do while loop. But actually, I did not cover do while loop on that video. So that will be another section. Later, I'm going to do that. And for loop as well. I did not even touch for loop like that, but I make reference to it, I just state it. And it's like we also use it anyway, we use it. So now that is when to use for loop. Please let me close this water. It's full.
Please, I have a question.
Yes, what's the question?
Okay, so going by this explanation now, as at yesterday, we
Mm.
spoke about using comments. I wanted to ask, is there a must that we must apply comments on every task we do on C? Because from
Even
the explanation you have given here today now,
uh,
I don't
mm.
see anything that represents comments or no comments
All
grammar.
right. Okay, thank you very much. To every program, whether C, JavaScript, Python, whatever, you have to put comments. Why? You are not only the person using your code. Another programmer still make reference to your code. They still go to your GitHub account and see what you have done, whether they have one or two things to adopt in your code. So you need to put comments so that anybody going through your code will understand what you have done or what your program is trying to do. So even yourself, the code you have written today, you may have forgotten what the code is all about. You may have forgotten what it is, what it's all about. But with comments, we make you, okay, this is what I try to do here because this is a code. We forget many things, I'm telling you. Don't think because you write codes today, you may not forget tomorrow. There's tendency that you forget what you have done today. So, but with your comments, that you have commented, okay, I divided also this thing here. You know, we have the side comments and we have the general one that generally analyze what our program wants to do. And we have some special things because this is code now that has to do with logical reasoning. There are some things that what the way, in fact, the way you approach it or the way you try to solve it, you know, probably something that's giving you a serious problem to solve that question. You now got the gist. Maybe, okay, let me try it this way, and you try it that way, and it work. There are tendency that when you forget that thing tomorrow, so you quickly comment it, maybe at the top. So you must have a unique way you do your comments. You must have your unique name. If you are using it this way, maybe your comment at here is your own unique style of doing it. Some people's own, their own unique style is here, they will put it beside. They will put it, so you have to adopt one style of your comment. I'm talking of side comment now. And we have the general one here, which should always to tell us what this prototype is trying to do, what this variable is trying to do, and what the return statement is trying to do. So, which you usually have. I am doing this because I am not doing Betty style. Betty will get it wrong for us if it is Betty. But I'm not doing Betty style. But it is must you put your comment. Even at all you are using Betty or you are not using Betty. You are not using Betty. So you have to
At
put it there.
every point in time, at every task, at every point in time.
Yes,
Okay.
when it comes to ALS, you have to put
Noted.
it.
Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Even at your own code too, you have to put it. But I'm not just putting it. So what I'm after is that basic concept. Get the gist, how things work, and we get the results, not
Yes, sir.
about
Thank
content.
you. I
All right.
understood. Understood.
So let's continue. Um, Esther, I think you said you want to screenshot this place. Is it Esther now or goodness?
I have
All
done
right.
that.
Okay. We move to the next task. Okay, I said I want to use the for loop. So let me use for loop. So to quickly learn two things at the same time. So when it comes to for loop, you also declare your data type, which is character. You use your I, but you don't initialize it. You don't initialize it when using for loop. For your I, this is where you're going to initialize it. For I equals to your A, semicolon, then your I is less than or equals to Z, then you terminate it and you increment inside it. This is how to use a for loop. That's just the basic difference. And every other things remains. Every other things remains,
Sorry,
which is
please.
all right. I'm with you.
Can you just take that again? Sorry, didn't get that correctly.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Let me finish this. Now, I said the difference between while loop and for loop is that, in our while loop, we still declare our data type, we declare our variable name, then we initialize. But when it comes to for loop, you don't initialize, you only declare your variable. You only declare it, which we have done. So after you've declared, you put your for loop condition and your I, it is inside your for loop, inside that parenthesis of a for loop that you initialize your I. By saying I equals to A, so which is the starting point, you terminate this one. Then I is less than or equals to Z, you terminate it and you increment inside it. All these things here, in our while loop, we separated them. We put this increment under put char. While this one, we put it inside our while loop. While this one, we put it in our variable declaration. It's just a difference. The way back, what is I plus plus? I plus plus is increments. It's the one that help our listening to, yes, a lot of people are answering already. So read what they pass across there. Yes. So that's it. So that have been answered. So now let's compile this. I hope we are good to go now. You understand? The president said I should repeat what I said.
This your discussion. Yes, sir.
Eh?
I will go to your YouTube. I got distracted again. Sorry. Don't worry. I'll go and check through your YouTube if you have already answered it there. Thank you.
Okay. Who
Please,
is the
can I
person?
can I
Who is the
can I
person?
screenshot that follow? Can I screenshot that follow? I beg.
Hmm. I'm going to pay for all this screenshot though. It's not for free.
Well,
Adekula, are you the one that said you are still distracted?
No, sir. The person that said, I was the one that requested that you repeat it again, but someone
Okay.
interrupted and distracted me. So, and I said, I will go back to your YouTube. If you have already
Okay.
fixed such question, like answer this for loop there, I will go to your YouTube, make reference to it and watch it there.
Okay. So after you finish watching it and you are not clear, so you can DM me.
Okay. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
That's when you have
As
watched the YouTube.
as I watch it,
Yes.
subscribe.
Eh? And you subscribe. Thank you for that.
Yes,
Thank
so
you
I'm
for that.
sure to subscribe. With the way you are explaining, the way you broke down that while loop, I really enjoyed it. So I'm sure to subscribe to how you explain your things.
All
Thank you.
right. Welcome. So now we want to call it. So using for loop, we still arrive at the same results for loop. But there is always a peculiarity when we use for loop and while loop. But they are still similar. They are still similar anyway. So this is it. Goodness, you want to screenshot. You pay me in pounds. So have you done that?
Yes.
All right. So let's continue. So who was the person that said she was distracted? I want you to read this thing for me.
Okay, where is the thing?
Okay, sorry. Un, hey, this name is hard for me to pronounce. Oh, Vuisili. Can we run the code? We've already run the code. We've run it. So let me do that again. We've compiled it. So we've compiled it, no error. But in fact, let me even, well, there's no point. I wanted to give it a new name to differentiate it from while loop. But so this is it. Is that taking Novolo? Oh, sorry if I can't pronounce your name well. Just pardon me. So now let's move to the next question. So who was the person? Please mention your name and you read.
Okay, my name is Blessing.
Okay.
Blessing them. So write a function that prints 10 times the alphabet in lowercase, followed by a new line.
All right. The difference is what? From what we have done before. Is what? Blessing.
Just a second. Write a function that prints 10 times in
10
one.
times.
So, thank you. So read this one. Blessing.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Sorry.
Read this place again. Read this place. Read this one.
Write
This
a,
one we just
fun-
finished now.
write a function that prints the alphabet in lowercase,
So stop there.
followed by
Take note. Take note of that. A function that prints alphabet in lowercase. Also read this place too.
write a function that prints 10 times the alphabet in lowercase, followed by a new line.
Let's forget about this one. Now, what's the difference between what you read here and the above?
Please take your cursor to the above. Let me see. That prints 10 times. Okay, the difference is this time around in number 2, we are printing it 10 times.
Exactly. So that means we've done this. We've done it before. We only want to see how do we print it 10 times.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, well, let me still write a new code. Then you copy your main Because if I to test your code, yes. So we copy this. We've already know what is happening inside the main function. We know this is a function name, which is to print 10 times. So I don't need to explain that again. So we save this and we come out from there. Then we open this file where we have to define our user function or programmer function. Blessing. What will be
Yes.
the other file? What will be the other file?
Hashtag hashtag include main dot h.
Good. All right. So what next? You better my record today.
Oh Jesus. Okay. The problem now is the first one we did was while loop, and you explained for loop that I got distracted. At this point, you are printing 10 times. I'm not sure of what it will be.
Blessing. Still forget about that. Still forget about that one. We haven't gotten there. What be the next thing to do here? We haven't gotten to the setting the condition. You are jumping a step.
Okay. The character.
No, we are not declaring variable yet. Let me see who else. Another person.
Void print.
Void print. Yes, who is
The
that?
prototype.
Who is that?
The process.
The
The,
prototype.
pro- the prototype. Thank you. Do you get that, Blessing?
Yes,
That is
please.
what the function definition. Yes, I love that word. The next thing is your function definition, which is this function definition. So you are going to put it, but you don't, when you put terminator, this your semicolon, that is prototype. So, but now we are not calling the prototype. We only want to define our function. And for us to do that, we need to put this, bring it, we call it, and we write this thing. Blessing, do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
That's how to write your function when you're writing function. So having done that, then it will now come to all what you are saying now. So yeah, continue. Blessing.
Function definition.
Okay, who will
Hello.
help her? Who will help her?
We can write character I.
Thank you. That's Lauren. I love that. So you need to declare your variable, which is I. But what will I do here, Lovely? Please continue. Do you
And
want to
then we
use
put
while loop? Do you want to use while loop or for loop? Which one?
while loop.
While
For
Let's
loop.
loop,
use,
for loop first.
Huh?
For
okay.
loop.
For loop.
Yes.
Okay. So if you are to use for loop, so what will I do here, Lauren?
We'll put a semicolon and go to the next line.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, what next?
You type
Okay.
into brackets.
Into brackets. No.
We put 4 and then brackets.
4. You leave space. Then
And,
brackets. Yes.
and then I equals to A.
I equals to A. Lauren, is this coming from your head or from what you jot down?
From the head.
The same thing.
Eh?
And from what you jotted down, at least she's following.
Okay, you're following with it. Okay, anyway. Let's say up anyway. All right. Now let's continue.
And then
Okay.
um I is greater than, no, I
No.
less
It's,
than or equal to
uh-huh.
Z.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What next?
Then comma and then times 10. I don't know how we add 10 times.
All right. So we'll come in there. So this is what? I plus plus.
Yes.
Now, so okay. What should it put here? What do you think is going to put here? Class. No, it's not class now. So if you want to talk, raise up your hand. So we put this condition. Put char what? So what should it put char?
A
Yes. I can say hard
so
up or let's say being
new
dropped for
line.
me. Yes. Function put char I. Okay.
Picture I.
Put char, put char I. Okay. I'm going to see who is anybody raising up hand? No. Okay, she put char I. Moses.
Yes, it's going to Pucha I and Pucha New Line.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now,
I
this
also think this is going to be a nested loop since it's going to print
exactly,
the whole alphabet times
exactly,
the line.
exactly, exactly. Nested loop because we want to print A to Z and we want it to repeat 10 times. Therefore, the way to approach it is to what? Use nested loop. And you need to get this very clearly now because we have the outer loop and we have the inner loop. Are you getting me? The outer
Yes.
loop, the outer loop is for repetition of a particular thing, repetition. While the inner loop, we always what's it called? Print the result we are expecting. So let me just bring it to anybody
Pucha.
understanding. Eh?
Pucha, you
I can't hear you.
The picture has a spelling
put,
error.
yeah, the error.
Okay, don't mind
Put
me. I'm poor. I'm poor in spelling, even when I was in secondary school too. Very poor in my primary school too. Don't mind me. All right, thank you. Now, this thing, I will not use I here. Why? Because this outer loop is for repetition. I want it to repeat 10 times. Therefore, I cannot use I here because I have not set, in fact, I can't use I here. What I will just do here, I want to, that 10 times is going to print it on each new line. On each new line. Let's go back to the code and see. This is the result of what we want. We want it to print first time 1, second time 2, third time 3, 4, 10 times. So for this thing to repeat itself 10 times, I need outer loop. So it's the work of this loop here. This work,
for
this first loop is the work. So in that case, I cannot put I here. If I should put I, it's going to repeat A to Z for me. And I don't want it to print A to Z, but I want it to print 10 times on a new line. Therefore, I'm to use new line here. I'm to use new line. So let's quickly do this. We are going to compile it and see the new line first. So let's see if it will not throw error, but it shouldn't throw the error. It still generates the new line for us first, at least for not setting the second condition yet. So it compile. So let's call it. So can we see we have the new line 10 times. I don't know what make it to be far this way. This is so far. So we have our new line already. We have it. The new line 10 times. So now let's go back to the code and set the second condition, which will lead us to nested loop. I've said. Please, who was the person that said nested loop? What is your name? Unmute your mic and just talk. We are leading us through. Okay, Moses. So you lead us through. Yes, we are doing it one after the other. Yes.
Yes, yes.
All right, Moses, so you lead us through. How do I set my nested loop?
Since you mentioned that the outer loop is for repetition, so I think aside this first variable char high that we have declared, there's going to be another variable, maybe char j, that is
Thank
going,
you. Thank you. I love that.
that's going to be the
Okay.
outside loop.
Okay. So where will I put the
Okay.
loop condition or the
For
nested?
yes, up there for j
Oh,
equals to
okay. All right. Thank you. So that we will not listen. So
okay.
Moses, you will enter because we call it nested. Nest. After this one, then the next loop should enter. Moses.
Okay.
So it will come there. It will enter there. Okay. Mr. Morale wants to help us out. Okay, Mr. Morale, let's continue.
Yes. Now, just for the sake of people that just trying to get this I think they might get confused. Now, the pusher you are trying to push her now, like you are trying to push her now, you are pushing it out, you are pushing it from the down now. Now, since you are doing the nested loop,
Mm.
we have to, once you have declared like that and for the second, after the curly braces, okay, let me first of all solve the issue now. So after the first college braces now we will now say for open bracket j is equal to 1
Okay.
terminated.
Wait. I made mistake. No wonder I'm surprised that that line is too long. So I shouldn't use alphabet, but
Yeah,
I'm not
that
using
what I'm saying.
alphabet. You should have told me now. So
You know,
this is
if
one
you
oh
if you
what
try
you
to
do
check
10 times. Therefore, in fact, I'm not to even use
uh
character here. I'm not to use character, I'm to use integer. Is that okay?
integer.
Yes. Because what we are doing here is what? Is an integer, is an int. So please, let's take
I'm
notes.
sorry, excuse me. You're trying to print alphabet, right?
Yes.
You can also use the character.
Now, do you know one thing? You
Sorry, let
can
me
use
come in. Let me
character.
come in. When
You
you're
can use the
printing a
character and you
character,
can use the active
hello, can you hear
value.
Uh,
me? Can you hear
please,
me?
if you want to talk,
Hello.
let it be organized.
Please let
Everybody
us
mute
be
your mic.
organized so that
Everybody
everybody will go through it.
mute your mic. Everybody mute your mic. If you want to talk, raise up your hand. So I'm going to call you. If you want to talk, raise up your hand. Okay. Olisha first. Olisha.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you.
All right. So we want to print character, but for a certain number of times, and anything that has to do with number is integer for whole
Yes.
numbers. So for the certain number
Mm.
of times we want to repeat the print out of the character A to Z, meaning we have to
Yes.
declare an integer first of all and declare
Yes.
character. There are two things that we want to
Yes.
do. Okay? So when we
Yes.
specify it,
Yes.
like it's a nested loop, the for loop, which is
Yes.
the first one for me, will be the number
Okay.
of times you want to print out. Then the inner loop, which could be a while loop,
Mm.
will now be the
Yes.
actual printing of A to Z. So
Okay.
that's my
All right.
contribution.
Thank you very much. Olisha, please send me your fake account number. It's the fake account number. So I want to send
I'm
money
sending
there.
you one.
So that's just it. Please, do we understand what she explained? If we are confused, people. All right. So let's continue. Let's continue. So is the essence of this integer? Can we not use character here? Can we not use character? We can use character. We can use character because even character itself is a special type of integer. It's a type of special integer. But in that case, we are going to what? Use a quotation here so that what? The compiler will see this as a character. So for blessing that said, we can still use character. I don't know, probably that's what you meant that I've stated, or we will not use that quotation before we can use that character. Okay, Unovu, yes,
Hello.
Unovu, hello,
You can call me Vui.
Voi,
Uh, yes.
Voi, okay, all right.
Yes, that's my name. Yeah. So I was saying I'm confused because why are we using an integer when we want the output to be alphabets that's printed in 10 times? Why are we using an integer? Why are we
Let me delete,
declaring an
let me see
integer?
delete this one. You know, we use integer here because we want to print how many times?
10
Boy,
times.
10 times. Thank you. That 10 times, you are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it?
Yes.
So what you are counting, is it an alphabet or integer?
It's integer.
It's integer, so it's the essence of we using integer here.
Okay. All right. No, I'm
So,
answered.
all right.
Okay, thank you.
So this thing now, let's quickly compile this one too, and I'll see that space. Because we only want 10 space. That's what that 10 times means. 10 space, 10 line, 10 line. No, we are not printing anything. We only want to print the line. Okay, DJ, error use, variable. Use variable J. Okay, unused. I know it's going to, when you declare a variable and you don't use it, so it's going to throw an error. Let me go and delete that variable I declared because I have not used it. I need to delete this one first. Why don't you pick call yesterday when we were?
I didn't even know that it was even this morning that I saw your missed call. When I woke up, when I got home, I slept. I couldn't pass this side of the road.
Uh, can we see the space? Can we see it? So it has generated 10 space here. 10 space. So it's the essence of that integer. Um, let me see. Okay, let me also do it this way so that it's going to be visible. Let me do it this way. Let me put the I here. I lost my network. Do I lost my network?
Yes, now you are back.
Yeah, you did, but you're back.
Okay. Diola. So I said I wanted to print 1 to 10. So it's the essence of me putting this I there. By me using this I, it's going to print 1 to 10. 1 to 10. And I want that line, not to print horizontally, but to print what? Vertically now. This is vertical line. So I want it to print on a vertical line. It's the essence of me adding what? This new line. So let's run that and see. Carol, I did not see that money. The money don't enter. We can't meet that guy.
I think
I beg, me una share the money with you.
Small money, chicken money.
Money no small for Naija these days. So
Have you
I swear.
sincerely? We try to do transfer since how many days now? Since Saturday or Friday, and the money has not entered the person's account. And the person said he went to bank to go and lodge a complaint. After 48 hours, nothing was shown again. Nothing has shown.
make dem collect coders, make dem help dem code their program network make e better. They no gree pay money. Yeye banks.
Oh my God.
And now
Okay,
all the programmers have traveled out. They've jackpot.
honestly, yeah,
Yeah,
the
I heard, I
Japa,
heard, I heard the news that they all traveled out.
Especially for Zenith Bank. Anyway.
that's what we too are waiting for. Let's finish this program. We will not stay in this country again. And
Abi káwá lọ dàgbòrò.
honestly,
Please, I have a question. I can't even remember the question. Oh, who is this?
this thing is, I don't know why it's slow.
Okay, while it's slow, can I ask a question, please?
All right. So ask
Please,
question.
in this our today's task, are we not?
Uh,
How do we execute it? As of yesterday, we are still using the chi mode.
you mean this today
How do
starts?
we execute? Yes, how do we execute it? As at yesterday, we were able to still use the chi mode even in the C programming. But from your explanation, I'm seeing
Mm.
a different pattern entirely, which is the dot slash file name. Is that like another way to chimode it or what?
That you mode is a new word to you. It's a
Let,
new
let,
concept.
let,
I
let,
don't understand what it
let me
means. Huh?
answer. Let me answer the
All
question.
right.
She
Okay.
meant change mode.
Okay,
CHMOD.
for
Okay.
placing, that's change mode actually. It is used to maybe when you write a script or perhaps you write a file in which you want to make executable. You use the
Yes.
change mode and it changes color. But this time around, you're writing a code. And I don't know, maybe you've gone through the beginners class. The C programming has steps. It starts from the assembler, the linker, the compiler, and all that. Four
And the
stages. We have
link,
four stages. Yeah, we have four stages actually. So this is what the C
yes,
programming does. When it compiles all, it makes it executable. That's how you get your calculator on your phone and through the C
yes,
coding and all those stuff. You have different apps on your phone. It's because of it has been compiled to be
yes.
made executable. So it's quite different. The change mode you use, you can use it for maybe you have a file, a folder, or a directory. You want to grant
Yes. Okay,
permissions
but from
to.
this explanation now, from this going through the pre-processor mode
Yeah,
and all of
prepressor,
that, the
assembler,
assembler, the
linker, and
linking,
compile. Yeah.
does this at the end of the day when we are done, can like once we use this dot slash the file name, does it mean it has gone straight to our GitHub account? Like, because as at yesterday's class, Cole made us understand that our scores are gotten from the GitHub account, not necessarily the sandbox.
Okay,
Does it
let me
mean that
ask.
when we are done with this execution of the dot slash file name, our GitHub account recognizes this information?
Yeah, there's
Since
a
it's
difference
already
between
flowed.
there's a difference between Git and GitHub. GitHub is a program that enables you to push from your local machine to your
Sorry,
root
I mean the
machine.
GitHub account. Yes, I was referring to the GitHub account.
Yeah, because the checker actually checks your code on the GitHub.
Yes,
You have to do the programming. You do everything on
yes,
your local machine, which is your terminal. Then you
yes,
push it with git push
yes,
to your repository in GitHub, and that is
yes.
where the checker checks it and say, okay, yeah, this work is there. But if you do everything on your local machine and you fail to git push, it's not going to your GitHub.
Okay, so if I got you correctly now, sorry people, oh, I just want for clarity's sake so that we are not
Yes, we are
having,
all learning. We are all
when we
learning.
start ahead
Yes,
and do
it's the
the
essence of this class. It's the essence
when
of
we
this
start ahead
class,
and do the
sincerely.
task, we will not be having XSS. So I just want to confirm something. Once we are done with that, the working on the task, and we dot slash the file name, we can go ahead and git add, git push, or git commit and git push.
There's a difference. I think you're confusing the whole thing. When you
Oh,
want to
Okay,
execute,
wait.
when you want to execute,
Cohort
Sam,
13.
Sam,
I
yeah,
think that's where the problem
Sam,
is. He
wait.
hasn't gotten to that
Let's
stage.
see. Are you in cohort 13?
It's cohort
yes,
13.
please.
Eh?
Yes, please.
Ah, that's why. Don't
yeah,
worry.
Nakura 13, I did not
So
understand.
don't
You
worry.
don't tell
We
us.
will discuss later. We will discuss later. So don't worry.
What is
Please,
that meant to mean,
They
or
are they are
eh?
we
carrying
will discuss
they are
later.
carrying you to where they
Please,
don't know
Now,
first.
because
I
we
be
have
there,
student
carry me go
tax
where I no
that
know.
It's
thank you.
honestly, I'm surprised. Yesterday tax. I mean today's tax. If you know what today's tax is talking about, you'll be talking of change mode.
We are in Malok here. Oh, we
That's
are in
the news.
Malok. Don't even
So
come back.
please, who are the people in cohort 13? If I'm in cohort 13, raise
um
up your hand.
I'm
If I'm
already
in cohort
raising up my hand.
13,
I'm in contest. Go on, 13 people, please talk. Oh.
please
we
raise
are
up your
here,
hand.
we are here.
Eh,
So we need to know what
go,
we do
No
so
official
that
sorrow.
our work is executable.
okay. Now, cohort 13. Cohort 13. Which project are you doing now?
I woke up and I saw your class and I joined though. I don't even know. I've not checked my intranet. I've not gone through my resources, even though I intend to do that once you are done with your class.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
All right.
it's still C related. That's
Yes.
in its file.
If
And
and
Please,
else.
yes. So variable if,
do you know
else,
what
and
cohort 13
while.
for us? If, else, and why?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay. If, else, and why. That's what they are doing. Okay, that is
yes,
variable if, else.
Yeah,
Wow. Understand
they
why
are
is
still
that
in
well.
important?
beginner. They are now beginner the day. If
Uh,
else, if
Yes,
not
so,
but
there.
you don't put it to our face like that now. We are learning.
Sorry,
we were there too
sorry,
now.
sorry.
Even some of us in Core 12 are still beginners, so
Yes, so
let us continue, please. Please let us
that's
continue.
all.
We are learning.
Uh, all right, so let us mute our mic now. Let's mute our mic. Every quote 13, put down your hand. All the quote 13, please DM me privately. DM me privately. Now I want to ask, is anybody,
on, on this platform.
let me give you my WhatsApp number. Let me
All
send
right.
the group I created, my own group. Let me send it to you.
Okay, no problem.
You can create a group for them and send it to them once and for all.
Okay, that's true. A
If it is
special
possible.
group. A special group. So let me
Yeah.
actually I've
For
created
course
it.
13.
I've created for quote 13, but I
Yeah,
don't see
just
people
send that
join.
one. Just
Let me
yeah,
I will send it to you.
just send that one to them so that they can get that one.
Later I'm going to so just DM me. So I'm going to add you up to that group. That's my WhatsApp number. People who are not in Nigeria. So let me put 234. So that is it. Now, this quote 13, you can just be watching. You can watch and ask questions
Yes,
related
you just watch.
to what we are doing. Ask questions related to what we are doing. So don't take us back to, what's your project? We are not on the same page with your current project. So this is it. We have the 10 line, but I'm surprised this thing is not printing 1 to 10 for me. Actually, I want it to print 1 to 10. But let me see. Let me see what
Let
has
me see the code, sir. Let us see the code.
so this is putcha, and putcha can only print character. So for that, let me see if special converter will do that, because it should print this 1 to 10. Then let me remove this new line. Remove this one first.
Mine should be underneath the follow.
Huh? Okay, the new line should be under the for loop. Please mute your mic. Okay, I'm having 1 to 10. This want. I want it to print in vertically now. So let me go and see adjust that. See. Cover 13. I've been seeing your message. So in this case, I need to put underscore put char here. Sorry, no line. With this increment. Okay, let me try it this way. I'm having to 10. So it doesn't print 10. So let me correct that. It will not print 10 because let me make it, I will start from 0.
It will
Start
start
from
from
0.
zero.
Good,
Start
good,
from zero.
good.
Because the compiler only understood what we call binary. Is it binary now? Base 10, something like that.
It's binary.
So when it is 10, it is now what? Hexadecimal.
Now also it will print to 8.
Less than or equals to 9. No, you can't print to 8.
0 to 9 actually.
It will print 0 to 9. Ah, why am I coming here again? What's wrong?
Baba, she made a find you bottle water.
Honestly, it's like you get you
E be
get
like
you
say
get
you
what
don
is
tire
happening
small.
here. Honestly.
Yeah, talking about being tired, I think we should have specific hours dedicated for this. So if it's
we
Yeah,
2
have we should
hours or
be
yeah,
3
I
hours,
we
agree
should
with
be
so that
rounding
you.
we
up.
don't just sit
We
endless
have
like that.
we
So if it's
have
3
we'll be
to 4
rounding up
hours,
very soon now. We'll be rounding up very soon. This is just this one I want us to, can we see now? It's 0 to 9. But if you count this is 1 to 10. This is 1 to 10. So if we are to use nested, this is what we are going to have. But we don't want it to print this number. We don't want it to print number. That is why we change it. We change it. Okay, we don't want you to print number. We want you to print just new line for us so that it will not show. So print the new line. So that was how we got the new line. Now, for nested loop, we need to declare is a character, which is, let's declare it as J, but we don't initialize it. Since we are using for loop, we come here. If you're also using while loop, well, I may not able to cover while loop because someone has complained about time, and that is me. Once you complain, so I try to satisfy everybody. So actually, it is a bad habit to satisfy everybody. So I need to satisfy myself, not people. But anyway, still need to listen to people's voice, and that's the problem that is killing Nigeria. We don't listen to people's voice. We only want to do our own. As a result of that, it's everything scattered. So this is this one is to print A to Z. This is going to print the J. So let's print. Are we having, okay, it's not returning anything. And I don't know the number of puts whether, but that shouldn't. So let's compare. So we have it. Now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This one starts for the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 0 to 9 that I printed the other time. So this how nested loop work. So we are stopping here for now. Any question?
Hello, sir. Well done. Please,
Can
can I
you
quickly ask
go
something?
back to where the code is so that I take a look at it again?
Okay. All right, this is it.
Please, sir, can I quickly ask a question before we round up?
All right.
Just quick one.
Yes, you are free.
Yeah, well done. Good job. I'm just thinking we just printed vertically. What will change if we decide to print horizontally?
This is what we change. No, okay. I'm coming. In that case, in that
We will not
case,
put
There'll be no
we will
new
not
line.
put
There'll be no new line.
we will not
new
put,
line. There is no new
we
line.
will not
Alas.
put, we will not put out this new line.
You can just put space there.
Can you see it now?
You can just put
All
space
right.
there.
All right.
So
Thank you.
that's what
Thank
will
you.
happen. Okay.
Instead of the new line, you can also use the T, the stroke T
That
in place
is
of that.
when you are using print F. This is not a print F. This is put
Oh, okay.
char. Uh-huh. So that is why ALX, they make things very hard. Sincerely, if it is print F, they are asking us to write all this code. It will be very easy for us. But
So,
using put
uh,
char, it has to do with logical reasoning, logical. And you will see most of their question is put char. They just make it simple for us. And put char is
can
hard
I
to
ask?
use.
Can I
All
ask?
right, ask.
The new line character, which is a slash n, and the tag,
Mm.
which is a slash t. If we can use the new line character with picture, I think we can
Yeah,
also
you
use
can
it
use it.
with
I
the
don't think
tab.
it's restricted
So
to
maybe we
just
should
printed.
try it. Try it out.
All right. So what should I type? Tell me what to do. I've not
So
tried it
that's
before.
what she did for the new line. Just replace it with the T, the forward slash. Is it forward slash or backslash T?
I should still put char.
Yeah, let's see if it'll work. Then backslash T.
Backslash T. Or let me ask this question. People that say I should use, have you tried this thing before?
No, but he
No,
said on
because
his
of
voice
the,
recording
the,
that it
the
Actually,
can
the
guy.
work.
T is for tab.
It's
When you
been
give it
tried
to
for
tabs,
standard library. I don't know for main.h. I don't know.
No error. So that means you work. So can we see?
Yeah, exactly.
it taps the something. That is what it does. It's for tabbing.
All right.
It's different from new line. New line is different from tab.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
it's not
So do we
different.
get
restricted
Yeah.
it
to
now?
printf statements.
So what the intention of what we want to achieve is different from what you suggested.
New
Okay.
line, we need new line.
You need new line here. So that tab you suggest is for tab. It's for tab, not a new line. So that means the tab you said it is not acceptable here. Not that it will not work, but it's not acceptable to get the result of what we are looking for.
Sorry, please, I have a question. Can I
Okay,
go on?
so sorry. We have come to the end of this class. If you want to leave, you can leave. So this one now is just for, so we'll continue. So tomorrow, in fact, it's today. So I'm also officiating as INEC official. So till Monday before we hold this class again. So I'm going to the center.
No 5 p.m.
So
class today.
5 p.m. There will be if there is light. So pray there is light.
There will be light.
So amen. Amen. Jesus
So
name.
say our
So
pastor.
what am I saying though? So if you want to leave, you can leave. We've come to the end of class. But if you still have some doubts that you want to clarify, then let's discuss it out. So, all right. Yes. Question or we bring it to an end.